Dave Abrams.
And I'm Allison Akers. Welcome to Anne Arundel County Week in Review. In this episode, we will talk about how to be prepared for hurricanes and meet a young baseball player who received a special award from Cooperstown. But first, making headlines this week. Few events are more moving than the annual Candlelight Vigil in Glen, Burnie to honor International Overdose Awareness Day. Hundreds of people who have lost loved ones to heroin addiction gathered at Arundel Christian Church to remember, reflect, and work towards recovery. County Executive Steve Shue was one of the keynote speakers.
When I came into office 4 years ago, our county was experienced what I believed then was a crisis, a fatality a week and an overdose a day from opiates. One of our administration's first actions was to declare a public health emergency related to heroin and opioids. We formed the Anne Arundel County Heroin Action Task Force, which reviewed strategies and best practices from all over the entire country. That group came out with 35 specific recommendations that fell into 3 areas: law enforcement, treatment, and education. But we have no interest in putting those suffering from addiction behind bars. We want to put them in treatment. And that's the second group of strategies.
Everyone wore black t-shirts with numbers on them representing each death from the year. The main message was one of hope. Event organizer Angel Trainer encouraged the audience to keep working toward recovery.
We seek to open a recovery community center in Annapolis. We are determined to have this vision become a reality. This team has worked hard to bring recovery to your front door, and it has been a beautiful thing for me to watch. Also, please get your bracelets on your way out, just to remember the lives that are lost.
If you or someone you love is struggling with any kind of substance abuse, there is help out there. Please call our warm line at 410-768-5522. What a moving ceremony, Dave.
I know, right? It's to see all of those candles, that sea of candles is really powerful, and Angel and everyone on her team did a great job of organizing it, and it's just nice that I heard someone say during the program that Anne Arundel County is really a model for what's going on around the country in terms of approaching this issue. And it's when it comes to recovery, we're that way too. We have a very strong recovery community, and everybody works together and helps each other out. So hopefully we can, make some progress in this at some point. It's a shame that we have to keep, all you see people with the t-shirts and the numbers on the back, and it just keeps going and going.
It's a hard reminder, but I think people need to be reminded that there is help out there, and that there is hope.
Absolutely.
And hope is how you move forward.
Absolutely. And real quick, welcome to the show.
Thank you
for being here today. We're glad to have you. Allison is from Economic Development Corporation,
Yep.
So marketing guru,
I thought you said marketing maven.
Marketing maven, it depends if it's Tuesday or Wednesday, and
Okay.
Today is not either one of those, so we're going to call you marketing guru. But some days you're a marketing maven.
Okay.
But let's do a quick plug for economic development. Make sure you check out economic development, Anne Arundel Economic Development Corporation, online and also on Facebook.
ArundelBiz.org.
Yep, all
Facebook,
Allison,
Twitter.
all the time.
Yeah.
Learn it, people. Well, Allison, did you see a lot of kids on Facebook this week?
Oh my gosh, it was
Maybe.
taking over my timeline,
Yeah, maybe
but
a
they
few.
were all adorable.
They were all of them?
Completely, yes, 99% of
Most of them. That's right, it was back to school week, and more than 80,000 students returned to class all across the county. Many of them arrived to much safer schools. County Executive Steve Shue and Superintendent George Arlotto provided $15 million in improvements for this school year, including 20 new school resource officers, new doors and door locks, and double door card entry systems. Shue announced his improvements back in the spring.
No student in Anne Arundel County should be afraid to go to school. And no parents should fear for their children while attending an Anne Arundel County public school. The tragic events of the last few weeks have made these concerns more real than ever. Parents want to know that their children are being educated in a safe, secure environment, And as public officials, we have a duty to protect every citizen of this county. Shortly after the unspeakable events in Florida, county and school officials met to discuss what steps could be taken to enhance the safety of our schools. We discussed how best to deploy security personnel and to strengthen security systems throughout our school buildings.
The safer the better, right, Allison? Do you you remember your first day of school?
Maybe not my first day ever, but I was such a teacher's pet. I couldn't wait for the first day of school to pick out like the perfect dress and wear it to impress my teacher.
Really?
Yeah,
Did it
I was
work?
so all about the first day of school.
Really?
Yeah.
So you behaved and stuff?
Yeah, I was a good
did
kid.
not behave in school. I got in trouble all the time. No one can believe it. Everyone thinks I was probably a model student, but no.
No, I believe it.
No. Yeah, I got in a lot of trouble, and look at me now. I guess it worked out.
Maybe.
Maybe. No. Maybe not.
Yeah. Beer and wine aficionados, better get ready because Twist and Stout is coming to Quiet Waters Park at the end of this month. On Saturday, September 29th, the park will be alive with food, vendors, and music. Of course, there will be all kinds of selections of Maryland wines and craft beers. The fun starts at 11 a.m. and goes until 5 p.m. Tickets are $30 if you purchase in advance and $40 the day of the event. You can go purchase your tickets right now at Mission Tix, which is mt.cm, and search for Twist and Stout. I obviously have this one marked on my calendar already, Dave.
Obviously.
But Economic Development is also a sponsor, so of course I do.
That's right. And you know all the intimate details of the new breweries that we have
I
around
do.
the
We do have
county.
some really good Anne Arundel breweries here.
And wineries. We have
Yes,
some wineries
and the wineries.
as well. So truthfully though, you're gonna be there?
Yes.
You're gonna be like working this event?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe. I think so.
Is there anything in particular you're looking forward to the most out of it?
Honestly, I think it's just going to be a great atmosphere.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to have a lot of fun and taste a lot of really good wine and beer.
Are you a big Quiet Waters person?
I am. I love Quiet Waters.
Awesome. Love Quiet Waters.
Yeah.
Totally awesome. Well, folks, make sure that you get your tickets because you get a discounted rate.
You do.
Number one.
Yeah.
And we don't want
Get
the
them
tickets
early.
to all be gone.
Just get them early.
We get a good head count. We know how many tacos to have, all that stuff. There will be food trucks, I understand. We have a big food truck theme in the show. You're going to see about that.
Yeah.
But check out Twist and Stout. And on the next time we have Allison here, we'll sing Twist and Shout to have the theme.
Dave will sing. I will not.
I won't. Nobody wants me to sing. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we'll talk to Jim Krempel about emergency preparedness. Take a look at our community calendar for events happening around town, and we'll be right back.
I'll be right back.
Hi. You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. If you're probably sober, then why would you do that? Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.
Welcome back. Well, we're really excited to have today in the studio Mr. Jim Krempel from the Office of Emergency Management. Jim, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. It's good.
Glad to have you.
Good to be
Now, it's very apropos to have you right now because we are officially in hurricane season. Tell us how we know whether a hurricane is threatening Anne Arundel County.
Well, the hurricane season really goes from the 1st of June to the 30th of November. So we're actually in the height of the hurricane season right now. That's typically August, September, and October. In fact, we actually have 2 hurricanes out in the Atlantic right now as we speak. We ask everyone to monitor the news and the weather and the TV and monitor social media. It's things everybody does anyway. Keep in contact with your friends and family, so keep one another informed. That always works. You can also go to our OEM website, Office of Emergency Management website, and they can Google simply Anne Arundel County Office of Emergency Management. It'll take you right to the website.
Okay.
We're also on social media. We use Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, so we keep our citizens informed that way.
Allison's on Instagram. I'm not on Instagram.
Yeah, I am.
She's cooler.
So I'll
She's
follow
cool.
you.
That's
Yeah,
what
I'll
most
make
of the
sure I
under
follow
30 do these days.
Oh, okay.
You're under 30, right?
No, I'm
Yeah,
under 30.
Okay. Real quick, we didn't have this, but what's the difference between a warning and a watch?
So warning means that the storm is probable. It may actually hit, and it's a 36-hour window. A watch is a 48-hour window. It comes before a warning, and it means that it might hit.
Okay.
So one means get prepared, and one means take action.
For some reason, I always feel like watch is the one. I always get them flipped because the wording sounds.
Yeah, I never know the difference.
Right?
So it's really easy. Be on watch.
The warning is the
and then
one. You better
warning-
get to where you got to
Exactly.
go
Okay.
right now.
So we say everybody have their preparations before even the watch happens.
Okay.
And
When
we'll
you
talk
see
about that.
okay, got it. Before the watch happens. All right.
What are the effects of a hurricane that we need to be on the lookout for?
So everyone hears about this, the Saffir-Simpson scale. That's the hurricane categories from 1 to 5. So the National Weather Service says that a hurricane starts at 74 miles an hour, sustained wind, and goes above. And they say that 111 miles an hour or more is a major hurricane. But the truth is, even a low-level hurricane can cause a lot of damage because it's not just one thing. It's a whole host of things that happen. People think about the wind, and the wind can do a lot of damage, but there are a lot of other things that come with it, called storm surge, for example. So you have your high tide and you have storm surge over the top of that, and that creates a lot more damage. So if something were to come up the Chesapeake Bay for us, it could be very damaging to low-lying areas. Then it brings torrential rain. So we could have 20, 40, 50 inches of rain extra than we've normally had, and we've had a lot lately. And that could cause flash flooding and area flooding, and that's a lot of rise of water then.
I know we've seen a lot of flooding around here.
Oh, well, this has been a very wet winter.
Yeah.
And then the other gift that hurricanes give is spawning tornadoes. So in Houston last year, they had a total of 54 tornadoes spawned in 2 days.
Nope.
And
That's
all
a
of those
nope
could cause
situation.
trouble. It is a nope situation.
That's an
Be
absolute
prepared.
nope situation.
Yep.
If a hurricane is heading for our county, what are some things that people should do to be prepared?
Well, the very first thing we do is say assess your risk right now. So look to see if you're in a low-lying area. And there's actually some websites you can go to see if you're in a low-lying area. But ask your neighbors if you haven't been there a while and see what the history of the area is. Do an insurance check right now to see if you have enough insurance on your house. If you're in a flood zone, then go ahead and get national flood insurance. And the trick with that is you have to get that 30 days in advance of the storm.
So do it now.
Do it now. Plan right now. Again, plan ahead. All this is plan ahead. And then be thinking about, speaking of plan ahead, the communications plan that you would do if a storm were to hit. So that can be as simple as sending a text message. Everybody texts today, and tell somebody, I'm here, I'm safe, and I'm not moving. Or I'm here, I'm safe, and I'm moving to this location. That means they don't have to worry about you. And in fact, social media, Facebook actually has an app now. You can click and say, I'm safe.
Right.
So that's an easy way to go.
Yep.
Another part of your plan is think about where you might want to evacuate. So we may order an evacuation, but you may voluntarily want to do an evacuation, especially if you live in a mobile home or you have some kind of physical disability.
Yeah.
So you have to then think about, you may want to have somebody drive you out. Where are you going? So what we say is if you go to a friend's house or a relative house out of the area, the worst you've done is maybe have a 3-day vacation. And the best you've done is maybe save your life.
Absolutely. I tried to tell my dad that in Florida. My dad's in Florida. I tried to do that with my dad last year, and he was like, no.
Florida's experts on this. Floridians should get this.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So in Florida, too, as we should do here, is we build a kit, is what we say.
Yeah.
So building a kit is basically having enough items on hand to protect your house for 3 days. So 3 days is as long as it might take for emergency responders to get to you if there was high flooding and a number of other things. That's called cascading effects, where you have a number of things come together, and it makes a rescue or it makes relief more difficult. So at least 3 days. So you have non-perishable foods, you have enough water, you have medicines, you have first aid kit, that sort of thing. So if you go to our website, it has all that information. We have a citizen's guide to emergencies that all that for you. It's all laid out for you. It's very easy to do. And the trick is most of this stuff is stuff you have around the house already. You just don't think to bring it together. Bring it together before the storm. You don't want to wait for the warning to do that.
So when I think of all these storms and everything, the flooding, I obviously think of power outages. Is that where a kit comes in? I mean, how do you prepare for a power outage?
So one of the things you have in a kit, of course, is flashlights. So a lot of people think about candles, but one of the first things we do in any kind of disaster is you don't want to make yourself a victim. You don't want to compound the program. So if you already have problems, you don't want to cause a house fire inadvertently with candles. So use a flashlight or a headlamp so you keep your hands free, or you can use an electric lantern. Make sure to have extra batteries too.
Don't put the generator in your house.
I actually have a headlamp too.
You have a headlamp? No way, you should have brought it today.
So headlamps are actually cool because you keep your hands free.
Yeah.
Just make sure and have extra batteries. Generator is important. Keep your generator fueled and have it serviced regularly. You have to check the fuel and keep doing it like you would for a lawnmower. They need to be at least 15 feet away from the house because you don't want any of the fumes to come in the house and cause carbon monoxide poisoning. Again, don't make yourself a victim.
Yep.
It's another smart thing to do. When you're looking at getting prepared then, you've got this kit. You also have to think about your pets. It's actually a federal law now that we take care and plan for pets. And we wonder why that is. It's because we love our pets. Well, we do. But it's also because during Hurricane Katrina, we lost 8 people who went back into their homes to rescue their pets, and they perished because of that.
Yep.
So we think ahead and take
that.
care of your pet. Treat them as a family member, which you probably do anyway.
I can't imagine losing my pets, so. Yeah.
So if a hurricane watch is issued, that's the time to put your kit together and start to clear debris that may be around your house. So the things you have, tchotchkes and things you may have in your backyard, or some things hanging like the chimes or something, those could become missiles in very high winds. So take all those down. If the hurricane starts to come, the wind starts to build, and you aren't evacuating, then go to the center of your house. Go to a basement, go to interior floor, stay away from the windows, all common sense stuff. And by the way, the same kind of protection that you take for a tornado. And since there's tornadoes spun by the hurricane, you're really doubly protecting yourself. All of this, again, is common sense. But think about it in advance so you're not panicking when the event happens.
Right.
And it's all on our website.
Okay. And so tell us how we find out more information and what you got coming up.
So visit our website. Again, it's www.aacounty.org/OEM for Office of Emergency Management. And you can go, we have a citizen's guide now. The citizen's guide is both in English and Spanish, and it has all 16 natural and man-made events that can happen to the county. And it actually has one information sheet per event. So you don't have to go digging for information. It tells you exactly what to do, whether you're at home.
Because I want to go right to typhoon.
You can do that.
I want to skip everything else. I want typhoon and tsunami first.
Tsunami is good with sushi.
It is sushi. It's good sushi. Yeah.
Of course, those are Pacific terms.
Yes.
We use hurricane here. So have you been to
Okay.
Pacific? So they have actually higher storms than we do. By the way,
Yeah.
the highest windstorm that we've ever had in a hurricane in the United States is 190 miles an hour at landfall. That's higher than a lot of tornadoes.
No.
So hopefully
that's
we won't
not
get that.
happening here.
The other thing we do is we have an emergency preparedness expo coming up, and that's on the 22nd of September. It's a Saturday. It's at Marley Station Mall in Glen, Burnie. Open to the public from 10 to 2. It's absolutely free and it's family friendly.
Kids love it.
They
Sounds
can
fun.
climb on every
They
piece of
love it.
equipment that the county has. Fire, police, helicopters.
Oh, wow.
Department
We
of
have
Public Works.
you have the bucket truck, right?
We
And
do.
That's what they love, the bucket truck.
Well, the Department of Public Works has this thing called a Vector. It's bigger than.
oh, I know about the Vector.
It's bigger than 2 fire trucks put together, and the
It's-
kids love
it's
that.
the
They can
biggest
climb
vacuum
all
cleaner
over
you've
it.
ever seen.
Exactly,
I have never seen
exactly.
one.
Oh, you
So
got to see
come
it.
out
It's
and
very
see it.
cool.
I will have to
Well,
come out.
Jim,
And we're going to have 6 food trucks there.
Yes.
what?
I love
Yes,
food trucks.
so you can enjoy an
Tacos?
inexpensive meal in our hospitality tent. So please, everybody come out. It's a great time, and you learn a lot about being prepared.
That's fantastic. So that is coming right up. Well, Jim, thank you so much for all the
Thank you.
info. And folks, you can go on Facebook and just look for. I usually search Arundel OEM to find their Facebook page really quickly. Thank you for being with us, and we'll have you on again. And let's hope for no hurricanes.
It's been a pleasure, and we won't
Yeah.
have any.
Great. Well, we'll be back right after this message.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Welcome back. So, what do Babe Ruth, Hank Aaron, and Cal Ripken all have in common? They are enshrined in Cooperstown. But one local player was honored by the most famous town in baseball as a young man. Sara Gannon has more. Sarah?
Thanks, guys. I'm at Woods Road Complex today interviewing the famous Kyle Emmons. Kyle Emmons, I first and foremost want to congratulate you. This young man had a huge accomplishment this summer. Can you tell us what that huge accomplishment was?
I won the Golden Arm down at Cooperstown.
And how did you win that? Or should I say, how did you win this? How did you win the Golden Arm Award?
So from center field, I had to hit up almost like a little cornhole board. There were 3 sections on the board. I hit the middle section and the white section or the lowest section twice.
And how many kids were competing for this?
103 other players were.
Oh my gosh, and they were coming from all different states?
All different states.
So what took you to Cooperstown in the first place?
The baseball team, my father, we were all really working for it and trying to get ready for Cooperstown the whole year.
Cool. So did you win anything else other than the trophy?
We won 6 games.
You won 6 games. That's what we want to hear, right? Well, that's a huge accomplishment. And from what I understand, Kyle, you are the only one from Lake Shore that's ever won this?
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that?
Excited. It's a huge goal.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations to the Gray Sox this year, and congratulations on all your wins. And let's play ball. And back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Sarah. Nice job, Kyle.
How about that kid?
Wow.
Huh?
That's incredible.
And how about you? Thank you for doing the show today. You did a marvelous job.
Why,
I think
thank
our audience
you.
will agree. Tell me a little bit about Allison. Tell us one interesting thing. Tell us a hobby of yours. What's a hobby of yours?
A hobby of mine, I have a horse, so I like to horseback ride.
Of course.
Yeah.
You do?
I do.
What is your horse's name?
His name is Gibson. He's a retired racehorse.
Like Josh Gibson, the baseball player?
No, like Gibson, the guitar.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
A little guitar reference. Very nice.
Yep, I'm into music.
Awesome, awesome. Well, Twist and Stout is right up your alley.
Exactly.
It's perfect in every way. It's work, it's play, it's hobbies, it's everything.
It's all in one.
And the weather should be nice, hopefully.
Let's hope so.
Should be cooler. And tell us a little bit about economic development for people who don't really know what economic development does. What does it do? What do you guys
Economic
do?
development, we help support the businesses in the county. So whether that's providing them with resources for financing, we have workforce training grants to help you skill up your workforce. It's anything really out there from corporations down to small business owners. We're here to help you and support your growing in Anne Arundel County.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if people want to know more, they should go to aaedc.org.
Or arundelbiz.org. It both directs you there.
arundelbiz.org. Or
Easier to
you can
remember.
call them at 222-7410.
Wow, you memorized that
I
number.
call that number a lot.
He does.
I do. Sorry. Sorry about that, Jules. 222-7410-410. That's economic development. Well, that's all we have for today on this episode of Week in Review. You can watch this episode and archive episodes online anytime on Facebook or YouTube by simply searching for Arundel TV. Please tune in again next week for more highlights and news from around the county, and we'll see you next time.